How are we doing, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to look at how you guys can make some really easy silver through the life skill butchering. Now, we're going to be tackling this from three different perspectives. We're going to tackle it first from the perspective of this that I see in front of you here. This is someone that has made very little investment into life skilling. You've got less than 30 mil here, and if you decide not to invest in the silver embroidered gatherer's clothes, less than 10 mil for your life skilling equipment. That's really cheap. Obviously, I'm not looking at the weapons, I'm just looking at the life skill gear when I talk about these prices. Now, with this setup, you've got just over 200 mastery, 206 mastery once you pop a seafood cron meal. I would definitely recommend you guys popping those when you're doing your gathering, just for that extra little bit of mastery and life skill EXP that it provides. So, that's step one. This character has also got professional one gathering. This takes less than 30 minutes. You can just grab a pickaxe and hit a couple of stones in any nearby town or village to get to professional one really quickly. If you want to look at some guides online, there's plenty of guides on how you can power level gathering, if that's what you're interested in. But getting to professional one takes no time at all. But you will need to be at least skilled 5 to use this magic butchering knife, which is going to be important. Okay, so the next POV is going to be someone that's invested a little bit of silver now and a little bit of time into their gathering life skill. So what you see on your screen here, from the cost of as of today, is 477 million silver. So this is less than half a bill, and this half a bill will net you 650 mastery. So if you come down here, you see it's 625. Well, actually it's 650 because you get 25 mastery from the cron meal. So pretty cheap here to get 650 mastery, and we'll be looking at what kind of silver you can make at this mastery level. And then finally, we'll be looking at the perspective of where I am right now. So currently, my main has Master 4 Gathering, Full Tech Logia, which is 903 mastery once you add the 25. Once you add the 25 mastery from the meal. And I've actually got a sharp alchemy stone here. Now this setup is expensive. With the sharp alchemy stone, it's going to cost you just over 4.5 billion silver market price value. Without the alchemy stone, it's going to still be around 3.4 billion silver. So it is pretty expensive for this setup, but it will net you, like I said, 903 mastery. Now this price can drastically go down in the future once Manos is out. I don't know if it will, maybe it won't, but I would assume that a lot of people will be getting rid of their Logia when Manos gear comes out, so that makes me think that the price of Logia should go down. But as of right now, like I said, it is 4.4 billion silver for this setup that you see here. So these are the three POVs we're going to be looking at, and now we're going to see what we should be gathering when it comes to the butchering, and then I'll show you guys where it is on the map and rotation and some tips and tricks. So now we need to decide what we're going to butcher. So what you want to do is come to the central market and have a look at the different meats and the different prices that they're selling for, and pick what has the most competitive price. There's a few things you guys need to understand though. You need to understand, if you're a supplier, who you're supplying to, who your buyer is. Your buyers are the chefs, the cooks, and the cooks are going to be using your meats to make these like ingredients here: meat pie, lean meat pie, meat croquette, meat stew, these kind of stuff down here, right? This is what they're using the meats that you're selling them for. Now they can substitute wolf meat with bear meat and any other meat that has the same symbol in the image tab on the left hand side. So if you see the same image on that left hand side, that means it's the same type of meat. So the cooks have free reign to choose what they want to buy. And guess what? They're going to buy what's cheapest. So if you're gathering bear meat, you're probably going to take a bit long it's going to take you a little while to sell it compared to wolf's meat. So what you want to do is scroll down, have a look at all these different types of meats to see what the lowest common denominator is, and then that's how you know that that's going to be basically the price that the meat's going to sell around. So I think wolf's meat is pretty much the lowest common denominator. But there is an outlier. This outlier is the gazelle meat down here. If you decide to gather gazelle meat because the price looks really good, you're going to be sorely disappointed because it's not going to sell. it's going to take a very long time, and the price is going to have to drop multiple times over before it sells. So one, you're going to have to wait ages, and two, you're not making as much money as you thought you would be. So now that's being said, once you have a look at the central market, you'll see what's the most competitive price for you. So right now, these three here are the most competitive meats for you to be gathering to make silver. There's a very good reason for this. This is because these three meats are required in Valencia meals, and Valencia meals is the best meal for a cook to produce to boost their cooking level. That's why they're in high demand. When the change to the Imperial Handling system comes about, these meats are going to be sold out for a very long time because everyone's going to want them. As of right now, they may, especially if a lot of people end up watching this video and start gathering them, the prices might actually dip a little bit if a lot of people start undercutting each other. So just do be careful. Don't be greedy. Don't just min list them. Just list them at max or one below. Don't even list below. Just list them at max. They will sell. Okay. I'm one of the people that buys them, so don't worry. They're gonna sell. All right. But again, the market is the market. So if people do end up undercutting each other, then the price will drop. But as of right now, the price of lion's meat is 14.6k, and that 5.6k lion's meat will be probably gone off the central market by the time I finish this video. These have actually been in pre-order for the last couple of days. There's very few times they're being sitting on the CM, so the price might actually rise in the near future as well if a bunch of people don't start dumping it on the CM. Now, since we know you want to gather lion's meat, where do we gather lion's meat? So if you come here to Anaconda Coast, this little leaf-looking pathway is where you want to be. So let me zoom out a little bit to give you more context. Anaconda Coast is just northwest of Valencia City, slightly west of Anaconda Harbor. This is the rotation of lines I like to gather myself personally, but there is another rotation up here as well. I'll be linking an external video showing you guys line rotations down below. Now, there is a couple of things that are must-haves for people that want to get into gathering. If you are going to be gathering, you must have a hedgehog. If you don't have a hedgehog, don't gather. That's how necessary this pet is, so you need one. Another tip is if you got any pets that give you extra life EXP gains, or pets that have the gathering EXP buff learnt, then that's the pet you want to use. You want to have these pets out when you're gathering so that you can, pardon me, so that you can get a little bit extra EXP during your gather. The next thing, if you're going to be doing a Logia gathering with Logia equipment, you must have a 10. If you don't have a 10, it's just not efficient. It's nowhere near efficient. You can make some money, but it's going to take you a long time because you're going to have to be running back and forth from repair stations. And you won't have easy access to popping a turning gates buff either. Another thing that you might want to consider picking up is is it book? I can't remember what it's called. Or bookshelf. It's not book. If you come to the Pearl store here, and we come down here to functional, Blessing of Camasylvia is another thing that you want to pick up. Each one of these will last you 15 days. So it's basically every 15 days you're going to be spending 100 mil if you don't want to buy directly from the Pearl shop. As a gatherer, this is super important because of that +2 energy that it gives you per tick. So basically the way it works is every 3 minutes you get 1 energy recovery. But if you have one of these actives, you get another +2, so you get 3 energy recovery. And then on top of that, if you have a tent buff active, let's pop out our tent. So if you have a turning gates tent buff, this gives you another +1 recovery to your energy. So every 3 minutes, you're actually now getting 4 energy back instead of 3, or instead of 1 if you had none of these buffs. So that's why the tent's really important, but also the main reason is you need to repair. The repairing of your gear is the main reason it's super important. So now let's go through the rotation tips and tricks. So the first pack of lions you're going to kill is here. I'd highly recommend you guys have a T5, 6, 7 or Dream Horse. with a little bit of gear on it so it can take a few hits. I've obviously got a Pegasus, but you don't need a Pegasus. Even a T5 with a little bit of green gear, plus 5 green gear, pretty cheap to get, will be enough to do. Would be enough for what you need to do. So that's your first pack. Now this is your second pack of lions right here on this flatland. Now I'm going to show you guys a little trick. So the reason, by the way, take your horse is because 1, getting from A to B is faster, and 2, it aggroes the lions. Now, if you're level 60, I actually didn't know this until I did the test, but if you're level 60, the lions actually do aggro to you. But here's a little trick I'm going to show you as well. If you really want to be efficient with your gathering time, what you can do, if you place your tent here, whilst you're gathering, you can just repair like this, and then continue gathering your lion meat, and then continue going through the rotation. So that's a nice little trick. This is a good place to put your tent. The next pack is over here. So right here is your third pack. And then your final pack, once you clear this one out, is going to be down this hill right over here. And once you finish this one, you're going to go back up the hill, back north up this hill. Just navigate right in between these rocks and come right over here, and you're back to where you started, and rinse and repeat. So you come from here back into southwest a little bit to this flat patch, then go east-ish to this pack, and then you're going to go south to the pack at the bottom, then back up north to the first pack that we showed you. So that is the rotation. Those are tips and tricks, and that is what you need to gather from to be an efficient gatherer. So now let's go show you guys the kind of money that we're making on these different characters. Okay, so let's talk about how the money making process. So I did record all my hours. I'm not going to be showing, it's going to take way too long to show that kind of stuff. But as you can see here, the 180 mastery, nothing equipped. I do equip obviously the knife when I start the gathering session. This was the first test that I did, and I'll be showing you the numbers. And if you go at the end of the video, I should be opening my inventory. Perfect. So when do I hover over the meat? There we go. So I take a screenshot at the end and I post it in PowerPoint that I'm about to show you. But the reason I'm showing you this is because I did notice something. I noticed that at the beginning of this video, I had 180 mastery. At the end of the video, I had 200 mastery. And towards the end of the video, I noticed I was getting a lot more 6 and 8 procs than I was at the beginning of the video. That's kind of important because, according to PC, if you equip a magical tool, it pretends that you have 650 mastery. So it gives you an invisible 650 mastery, so everything you gather should be the same as what it would be if you had 650 mastery. Well, I don't know if it's just not true for console, if it's bugged on console, if it's just not true on console, if the statement they made is inaccurate, if there's something I've missed, maybe there's something I'm not taking into consideration with that information, there's something extra they said that I've missed, whether it's bullshit, I don't know. I shouldn't really swear, but anyway. But that being said, there's an obvious difference between a magical butchering knife and 650 mastery, which you can see in these net profits. There's over a 20 million silvers difference. So pretty substantial difference right there. But let's break down the table for you guys. So over here, we just got the list of different stuff that drops in the area. Then you got the gross and net profit. Quantity of what dropped, and the market price and or vendor price, depending on what product it is. And then price times quantity. Voila, gives you the monies. Gross profit is just the sum of all this. Net profit, we summed up to here, and then we deducted tax, and then just added these separately. So that's what that formula is. And the reason there's 3 tables is because if you look here, you have black gem fragments. Well, you can turn black gem fragments into black gems. So I was like, okay, well, what kind of money would I make if I was to turn this into this? Would I make more money? The answer is yes, not by a lot, but yes. The way I get the price, though, is I take the 1 million selling price and I deduct the price of 1 armor stone and 1 weapon stone, which, as of the recording of this video, was identical at 198k, That's obviously going to change over time. And then we did the same thing. If we processed it one more step into the concentrated magical blackstone, this time it takes 5 5 armor stones, 5 weapon stones, 1 hard, 1 sharp, bada bing, bada boom, and then that would give you the actual price, the actual profit that you're making from that gem, because you have to spend some to make some in this case. One thing I will note, if you are currently selling weapon and armor stones to the central market and hards and sharps to the central market, and you're gathering, you're doing it wrong. You need to be saving your weapon and armor stones and your hards and sharps. Then when you gather, you turn these black gems into, these black gem fragments into black gems, into concentrated black gems. Because I'm calculating this from buying price. So this calculation here is the buying price. If you're selling all these things separately to the central market, you're not getting the buying price, you're getting taxed. So you're actually losing even more money if you're selling it separately. You might find that you have some excess hards, some excess weapon and armor stones if you do a lot of grinding. Obviously the excess, if you can't change it into concentrated magical black gems, sell the excess if that's what you want to do. But that is completely up to you. If you guys do a lot of enhancing, which is what I do, I just sell the black gem fragments as is standalone. I save my weapon and armor stones and my hards and sharps for my enhancing stuff. That's me personally, it's up to you. But if you were to sell everything to the central market, you will be getting 71 mil after tax for a less than 30 mil investment of silver. That is freaking insane. That is really insane. Let me show you how insane that is. I was doing a bunch of stuff earlier. But currently, Stars End Trash is worth 15,500 silver. With over 100 billions worth in gears, what I currently have. My gear is worth over 100 billion silver if I was to sell everything on the central market. I get 5,500 trash per hour at Stars End. I'm getting 85 mil an hour at Stars End from the trash. Now, obviously, the price is the money per hour is higher than 85 mil, but the fact that you're getting 71 mil for almost no investment of silver, less than 30 mil, I'd have to spend over 100 bill for this. That's pretty goddamn good, and that continues. So now if we look at the 650 bracket, there's one thing you might notice about the screenshot is I've only got 2,000 meat here, but I say 4,000. Well, at the end of this hour, I didn't have enough energy to do another hour, so I only did a 30-minute hour. But let me just take its calculator for now. There's a few things I need to mention about this one here. So I did double the meat here to get this 4,036, but I did not double everything because, as you can see, I had a crazy RNG carry 30 minutes. 5 hards and 3 sharps is a good hour, and I got this in 30 minutes. The black gems seemed reasonable. 40-ish is what I remember getting back in the day when I had 650 mastery. So that seemed pretty reasonable. But you can't really see here. There's 11 dust. That was pretty high for 30 minutes as well. I think 18 is also still pretty high for an hour at 650 mastery. But what the hell? I fudged the 22 down a little bit to 18. And I didn't add any hards or sharps. I just pretended the next 30 minutes I didn't get any hards and sharps. Just to get a more realistic value at the bottom here. If I doubled everything, this would be well over 100 mil an hour. That might be a little bit misleading. There are definitely hours with 650 mastery that you will get over 100 mil net. However, it's not going to be every hour, and I don't want to mislead you guys with showing you something that's not attainable at most times. These numbers here are a bit more reasonable. I think you're probably getting anywhere between 95 and 105 mil an hour would probably be the bracket that I'd say is very reasonable for the 650 mastery bracket. Which again, ooh, the wrong one. Which again, over 100 billion silver. Look at this. This is less than $500 million silver investment, over 100 billion silver investment. Obviously, there is big advantages to the RNG grind. If you get a disto drop and sell it for 200 mil, you're getting roughly 180 mil after tax. So just getting one distortion earring, then obviously this number now is a lot larger. And then if you get more than one, let's say you get 2 distortion earrings, which does happen from time to time, then now this number looks crap in comparison. So don't forget about the RNG factor of grinding. But that being said, there are many hours where you will get no disto drops, but you will get other drops. So Plus times 5,500. That's just how much trash I'm making with the blue loot scroll as well. So this also costs the loot scroll with 100 billion worth of silver, worth of gear to get this money. So 85 million an hour, right? Now that's probably, I'd say, around 90 to 100 million an hour is probably what we're getting after you. Actually, it's probably around 100 million an hour. I think right now, Star's End with my gear, if I get no disto drops with the Caphras, with the Ancient Spirit Dust, the Weapon Armor Stones, and the Magical Stones, I forgot what they're called, whatever, this the extra thing that drops in Star's End, I'm getting around 100 million an hour. So now, if we look at here, the hours where I get no disto drops, I'd actually be getting more money just gathering Lion's Meat. That's freaking insane. Now, obviously, this is a 4.5 billion investment, but 4.5 billion is not going to get you into Star's End. So the fact that this is a 4.5 billion investment and you're getting more money than me if I don't get a disto drop in Star's End is freaking insane. So guys, this is a really good source of money. And this is just being a supplier. Now, I don't sell my stuff to the central market. I cook it, okay? I've got over 12 billion silvers worth of products in my storage, and I'll be going through exactly how I value it at 12 bill and what I have and what I'm doing in a different video, okay? I've actually got videos on cooking that I've made in the past as well. I'll be linking all those down in the description down below if you're interested in going down the path of cooking. If you're particularly new to the game, what I would suggest is maybe sell. It's up to you. You can do what you want, but make your money here, your 70 mil an hour, sell it to the CM, and just get your Logia gear to get you to this bracket, and then start cooking after you hit this bracket. Also, little stuff, other tips and tricks. You don't have to sell your black gems to the market, right? This stuff here, you don't have to keep selling this stuff to the central market. You can actually use it to upgrade your own log gear if you want to. So instead of buying from the CM, you can make your own. It might cost you a little bit more, it might cost you a little bit less, it just depends on RNG, but it's completely up to you. For me, what I did is I made my own butchering knife, I made my own clothes, but I bought all my accessories from the central market because my accessory RNG was absolutely abysmally bad. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. I hope it's been helpful. And if you do see yourself coming back to the channel, do consider leaving a like and a subscription. But if not, that's all gravy. I'll catch you guys in the next video.